Alexander, let's talk about the escalation towards war in the Middle East and in Ukraine as well from the Biden White House. Maybe Taiwan soon, maybe China and Taiwan, the way things are going. So we have a $106 billion package that is all bundled together that Biden wants Congress to approve. Mitch McConnell the other day, he said that he's all for it. He sees a connection in all of these conflicts, so he's approving of Biden's strategy to bundle all these conflicts together. We have an article from Axios, which gives the impression that this is a Biden White House that is in over its head as far as all of these conflicts are concerned, but it doesn't look like they understand or are capable of putting on the brakes to any of these conflicts. The situation in the Middle East is very dangerous. It looks like to me that the neocons are looking to widen out this conflict, constantly talking about Iran and Syria. It really gives me the impression that people like Lindsey Graham and McConnell, who said that China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea are an axis of evil. An axis of evil, we haven't heard that one before. It really seems like they're, how do I phrase it? They're not so interested in the actual conflict in Israel as much as they are interested in widening out the conflict to bring in Iran and Syria. And obviously Graham, McConnell, Bolton, people like this have been trying to get at Iran for decades now. And
of course, man, the end game is not Israel. The end game is to bring all nations in the valley of Yehoshaphat. So the Most High, Hashem Yahushua, is working through the minds of these leaders, and the geopolitics will refer to them as a neocon. Neo means new, con comes from the word conservative, so it is a compound word, neo and the conservative. You see, these people who are war hacks, and they profit from war. And when you are in the world, the only explanation you can come with why do these people want war so much is the financial reason. But over here, in GMWC, the school of prophecy, we have another reason, man. This is the Most High working in their mind to bring everybody in the Middle East, man. So this is Joel's third chapter jumping off page, man. I see. Let's continue.
Out of the $106 billion, 61 of that $106 billion will be going to Ukraine. So the bulk of the money is going to go to Ukraine. So I think it's a very chaotic picture that we have in front of us. But unfortunately, it looks like the momentum is just pushing us towards either a big regional conflict or perhaps a global conflict. What are your thoughts?
Of course, man, this is a global conflict. This is Joel chapter 3 right here, man. So, without going any further, I want to give all the praise and the glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kadash, and the Bahana to the elder and the apostles of Great Wisdom who do well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to you, Akiamua, pushing these truths to the four winds of the heaven, be on the forefront of this spiritual war, and to make sure Jerusalem is established as a praise here on earth again, as in the days of old. So let's continue.
I think this is exactly correct. I think it is a very dangerous and very frightening situation. And I think that the Axios article is telling us that there are people in the White House, in the National Security Council, in the State Department, across the bureaucracy, who are now beginning to panic because they're beginning to understand, perhaps fully for the first time, that the captain of the ship is sailing it directly towards the iceberg, and he's saying full steam ahead. And I think this is the moment when people are starting to see that. And you're quite correct. So we discussed in a program we did when we talked about Biden's address to the American people that it's absolutely clear that for him the fixation, the obsession remains Ukraine. We've now had the package, and it's $61 billion for Ukraine, $14 billion for Israel, more money for Ukraine. We see that Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham are absolutely on board with all of this. We see that the neocons generally are fully on board with all of this. What we have is a relatively small group of people at the absolute centre of power who are now, in effect, in control of the machinery of government, and the president is one of them. I think this is something we all need to understand. The president is fully signed up to this, who want to take on everybody at one and the same time. But their primary focus is not Hamas in Gaza. It is this axis of evil that you were talking about. Russia.
Nothing new under the sun, man. When you go back to during the time of WW3, you have the Allied Alliance, and you have the Axis Alliance, in which the Axis Alliance, it was referred to as the Axis of Evil. The only difference is Russia used to be on the Allied Alliance. You see, everybody else was on the Axis of Evil.
China, Iran, they're all being lumped together, and we want to confront them all simultaneously at one and the same time. And the one that's most important for them at the moment remains Russia. So this is what they want to do. And we see other people within the government who are becoming appalled. They sense that the whole thing is spiraling out of control.
And why do they want to get Russia? It's all about resources, man. The way Russia is geolocated, they have access to the Arctic cycle. You see, they have access to the Far East, and Russia itself have a lot of resources, man. So what they want to do is they want to balkanize Russia, the same way they balkanized the Soviet Union, in which it ain't gonna happen. That's nowhere in the scripture, man. That ain't gonna happen.
They sense that in the Middle East, the situation especially is spiraling out of control, that there's dangers that the military, the US military dispersed across the Middle East could find themselves in trouble. They see that the Chinese and the Russians are starting to take counteraction. The Russians are deploying MiG-31 fighter jets to the Black Sea.
You see, and if you look at the Black Sea is very close to the Middle East. This MiG-31 fighter jet, they are equipped with Kinzhal missile. Kinzhal missiles are hypersonic, and that's a message to the US, because the US deployed 2 aircraft carriers. Hypersonic missile can sink an aircraft carrier. You see, an aircraft carrier to hypersonic missile is a sitting duck. It can be hit without even knowing. So this is a configuration toward the third war, man. And it is in the scriptures, man. The third part of ships which were in the sea were destroyed. That's the book of Revelation. I think it is in the 8th chapter. This is it, man. This is it.
Kinzhal hypersonic missiles, and giving warnings that if there's an attack on their troops in Syria, they will respond. The Chinese are now deploying warships of their own to the region to counter America.
And even the Chinese, when you go to and read the Chinese military doctrine, for the longest period of time, which was designed to be a defensive force, and you read the military doctrine, it reads that the Chinese troop ain't allowed to be deployed outside China. By now they are being deployed. The Chinese have sent a warship, I think, in the Persian Gulf near Kuwait, if I'm not mistaken, near Kuwait, somewhere near Kuwait. Why are the Chinese sending warship? Because you have what you call the BRI. The BRI. The BRI stands for Belt Road Initiative. It is dubbed the New Silk Road, thus aimed to shift the focus from the West to the Eastern world. That's what they always say, the posturing toward multipolar world, in which the BRI or the Belt Road Initiative that's aimed to circumnavigate from the Western supply chain, because when you are a superpower, what is a superpower? A superpower is a country which guards what we call the Great Waters, man, the 7 oceans. And that used to be Great Britain, and now it is America. That's why the scripture is they refer America towards the land of trafficking. When you go and look in the Hebrew, the land of trafficking, it tell you it was the land of Canaan. That's why America is a spiritual Canaan. Why? Because it is a land of trafficking. What trafficking? That was going to the maritime activities, controlling all the great waterway, man. When you go back to the ancient Canaanites, they used to circumnavigate the whole entire earth, man. They were the first circumnavigator, man. They were the first to build ship and circumnavigate. That's going back to ancient Tyre and Sidon. You see? That's trafficking. Eh? That's why the scripture even tell you America is situated or you call upon great waters. That's it upon. Let's read Joel 3 first. For behold, in those days, in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will gather all nations, and I will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's what is going on. And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted in my land. That's what is going on. You see? And it's sure about resources, man. It's sure about control. It's sure about resources. It's sure about greed, man. And they have cast lot for my people and have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for one that they might drink. And the scripture give you a reason, man. You see? Verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. That's what they are doing. They are drawing where? They are drawing to the Middle East. You see, beat your approach into sword and your pruning hook into spear, let the weak say and strong. That was going to the mentality of this nation, man. And now this nation, they are not in a mentality to allocate some fund for agriculture or livestock keeping. No. A lot of tax money, they are being allocated for what? Military reason. And now they are sending 1 billion, 100 billion, 60 billion to Ukraine, and other 13 billion to Israel, other 13 billion to Taiwan. That was the fulfillment of Joel 3:10. Beat your approach to sword and your pruning hook into spear, let the weak say I'm strong. And this weak nation, even in Palestine, they are saying, man, we are strong. We can bomb Israel back to Stone Age. Assemble yourself and come all with his and gather yourself together round about. He that caused the mighty one to come down your Yahweh. Let the heathen be weakened, and come up with the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get it down, for the press is full, the fat overflow, for their wickedness is great. That's a poem by Isaiah, man. You see, let's go back.
Presence there, and these people, the sort of people who are more connected to reality within the government, the US government, they're starting to panic. And we're hearing reports that people in the State Department are also starting to panic, that congressional staffers are beginning to become worried.
You see? Let me see scripture real quick. This is the book of Isaiah 19 and 16. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and they shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shakes over it. The land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that make mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he has determined against it. In that day shall 5 sit in the land of Egypt. That's not it. The point was, Egypt shall be like unto women. The mighty men of Egypt, man. Let me see. Let me see. Jeremiah 30 and 5. For thus says the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, you have heard a voice of trembling. This is a voice of trembling right here. Even the National Security Agency of America, man, and the Congress, they are afraid. This shit is getting real, man. Because, hey, man, this Edomite, they are afraid, man. They kind of think, man, what if the new world order fail? What if the new... And they know it will fail, man. I'm not talking about this congressman, the congresswomen. I'm not talking about these people in the NSA in America or the DOD or the DOJ. I'm talking about the elite. They know, man, it ain't gonna come to pass. And the new world order ain't gonna come to pass, man. Jeremiah 35, for thou says the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, we will hear the voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man does travel with a child. You see, how can a man travel with a child? Wherefore do I see every man with his hand on his loin? So the Most High was mocking this season, man. You see, why do I see every man his hand in his loin, man? And the loin that was going to your mind, man, your mindset. You are troubled. It's like a woman, man, you traveling with a child. If we have been into labor looms, you see how women travel when they want to bring that child out. It's a painful process. So the downfall of Esau, it will be a painful process, man. But amen, is the Moshiach got us, man. As a woman travel and all face a tandul penance, alas, alas, for that day is given, so that none is like it even the time of Jacob trap, but he shall be saved out of it. And the WW3 man, WW3 will spearhead Jacob trap. I saw the brother from Wi-Fi. I saw a good title, man. When WW3 meets Jacob trap, that was a good title, man. I liked that title. WW3 will meet Jacob trap, man.
And we see that there's been this concerted approach to Axios from a whole lot of diplomats and officials, all saying that the situation is becoming more dangerous than it has been, well, certainly since the administration took office. The last week has been chilling. And, of course, last week also we had that article in the Financial Times which was confirmed that not ex-diplomats at all, serving diplomats are becoming worried also. By the way, this is all getting out of hand. But all of these words of counsel, of advice, of attempts to try to get these people, if not to reverse gear, at least to put their foot on the brake, all of this advice is being disregarded.
How do you get them to put the foot on the brake? I mean, I don't see it. I really do. Listening to what Blinken, McConnell, Lindsey Graham, all of these people said over the weekend, listening to Biden's speech at the Oval Office. I mean, you know, Blinken is Biden's guy. Yeah. He's the Secretary of State. Underneath Blinken, you have the Deputy Secretary of State, or the Under Secretary of State, Victoria Nuland. How do you put a stop to this? How do you pause this? Because it doesn't seem like we're moving in anywhere near that type of trajectory. It seems like with each passing day, it's getting worse and worse. I mean, we're moving quicker and quicker towards a conflict, and I just want to I want to ask you about this deterrent force that the U.S. is deploying in the region, that Lloyd Austin was talking about over the weekend as well. And Lloyd Austin, he expressed his concern about a widening conflict, but he also warned China and Russia and Iran and Hezbollah and all of these countries and these actors in the region. He warned them, don't you dare do anything to don't you dare do anything in this war in Israel. Don't you dare enter the conflict, or else the United States is going to defend itself. He said. I mean, there's that word again. I mean, how do you put a break to this?
Well, the only way you can put a break to this is for these people to get what they want, which is a war, certainly a regional war in the Middle East, and for them to suffer a bloody nose. Because that's the only way this can stop. That's the only way this can stop.
That's the only way. Even this analyst, it have reached to a point that they don't see peace, man. They don't see peace, man. This analyst, they don't see peace. This is Isaiah 46. I'll start at 8. Remember this and assure yourself, man, bring it again to mind, or you transgress. Remember the former things of old, that was going to prophecy. For I am the power, there is none else. I am power, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient time the things that are not yet done, saying my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. You see, the Most High will do all his pleasure. And what is the pleasure of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai? Joel 2 and 2 a day, Joel 3 and 2. I will also gaze all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and pardon my land. That's the praise of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Let's go to Revelation 8 chapter. I talked about that. This is Revelation 8 and 9, saying that in the third part of the creature which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ship were destroyed. That's why you see all of this hypersonic Kinsal missile, man, ready to go. I see, ready to go. I see, ready to go. This is Revelation 9, the same Revelation 9 and 15, and the four angels were risen which were prepared for the hour. Let me start at 14. 16. 12. We say, one war is past, and behold, there come to war more hereafter. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before the Moshiach, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, you rule the four angels which are born the great river Euphrates. And they are getting ready to be ruled. And the four angels were ruling, which is that's talking about now, which we are prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for to slay said part of men. You see, so the Most High ain't gonna pray, man. You see? He ain't gonna pray, man. The Most High ain't gonna pray with nobody, man. The Most High will do all his prayers. That's all the scriptures. That's what the Most High say. So I will finish it by giving all the praise and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Ba Hashem Makakadash, the Bohana to the elders and the apostles of the ministry who do well. A peace, blessing, and salutation to you, Akim, who are pushing this truth to the four winds of the heaven and be on the forefront of this spiritual war to make sure Jerusalem is established there as a praise here on earth again, as in the days of old. Shalom.